Indeed, Ash, you are faster than Stream Elements. Supersonic. Anyway, how are you today? You're always here so early. Awesome. Let's see. Guess, if you just get started. Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good. Finished some more emotes today off stream because my morning time is kind of slow. Like if I have like if I'm working on like a video for YouTube, I do it in the mornings usually before stream. But if I don't really have anything that I feel is worth making into a video, then I look at my emote commissions. And like the main thing is I want to keep my at least the progress on this illustration stream only, so that way it's like people can see the entire process in the VODs, you know? Hey SFN, how you doing? Finally, Nancy? Oh, whoops. I gotta always check to make sure my expressions are not wrong on that, you know? Maybe I can like move the window into a better spot so I can see it better, but it's what it is. No big deal. Try to manage my windows better so I can actually see what face is going on. Anyway, how's everybody? Hi Giselle. How are you all doing? The three of you so far. Y'all having a good day? Good Tuesday? Alright. I guess we've kind of just sat around long enough, right? Let's get going. Let's get started. Move my keyboard over so I'm not straining my wrist. Okay. My day was alright. I finished some emote stuff. And I'm back to 0 emotes. So I actually went and posted on the Twitch services mega thread on Reddit. Because it's sort of like, well, I'm not gonna get jobs if I just sit and do nothing, right? And just expect people to come to me. Although that's kind of how I've been doing it for a while, and it's really weird how many people have found me on their own. It's kind of scary, to be honest, but I mean, it worked out when I was already working. Like, I had technically a full-time job through a contract before, so them finding me without me having you know, actually put my name out there, it was nice. Like, it was a kind of a stretched out cross space or whatever. Whenever I didn't have any work, I could just relax and take a break, you know. But it's funny because like work and emo commissions were nothing. Like trying to do the Patreon stuff on top of that was hard, so hard. So now that things are like pretty much commissions and Patreon, it feels a lot more loose. I don't know. Hey Virus, how are you? Oh yeah, I was working on some stuff today. I made a new badge, although I really doubt anyone's ever gonna give me this many bits, but I made the all-star badge. So. No emote though. No, that is my last emote slot, and I have no emote for it yet. But we have a badge now. Don't have time to do them. You know, I mean, the thing is that I have to pick and choose what projects personally I want to do, you know? It's like I could make it be like a thing where I give behind the scenes stuff to my patrons. Like that's what I had in mind originally, but it fell through because I was actually not really creating anything significant of my own original creation, even though it was technically original creation kind of thing. But I don't feel comfortable using Patreon to quote fund my capacity for drawing healing arrow stuff, because it's such a niche thing. Like no one's gonna support me so I can feed my own shipping obsession, you know. Thank you, SFN. So it wouldn't make sense to set up my Patreon that way. Like if my Patreon were it's something similar to someone I know. She was my friend. We kind of don't really talk anymore, but like she's someone that I admired a lot for her artwork. She did cover art for Photoshop back in the day too, and like even used to stream to Adobe's art channel directly. I don't know if she does it still anymore. I know she does her own streams, but regardless, she has her own original graphic novel that she's been working on for over 10 years plus, longer even. Probably around 15 now. Been a long time. She's got like so many volumes out of her original graphic novel, and like that makes sense because she has a following for her comics specifically, and people support her through Patreon for that content, so she can draw her characters to her heart's content. Not necessarily, but a little bit more to her heart's content than say like me wanting to be able to draw Hanzo Mercy all the time, even though I still draw a lot of Hanzo Mercy. Yeah, it's like it's not like I'm gonna really be able to like benefit off of my silly obsession, you know. And I know there are fans of the ship, which I am forever grateful for, and validate me every time that they can, like saying that what I've drawn has fueled their souls, and I'm glad. But it's not gonna work out as a real means to make money. I have to think of something original for myself to develop into something, some sort of personal content, personally branded content. Hard. It's hard. Maybe one day. One day I'll think of a cool original idea that I can write a real story about. Chock full of shipping of my own design, you know, not the obsessing over fictional characters that other people have created, you know. My fictional characters. Hey Dragonfly. Have you progressed further along that thing you asked me about? Okay, cool. It's like that kind of thing, because you said it's for a window, right? Well, window, what do you do when you look out the window? You usually look at the sky to see what the weather is. So I figured that it reflecting the weather would be a good thing. Yeah, you can. You need a, oh my god. No, you don't understand. I told you you'd use a gradient. So you can start off with like a light blue, but the thing is, when you look straight up, that blue is actually really dark. So you can use like a dark blue like this. That's not the gradient I wanted. Also, you can use drop shadows. Like here you have your... Come on, T, not G. Like you can do that. Oh, you can actually leave it light blue. And you can still see it really clearly. Come on, dude! Try to innovate! I know. I said gradient, but I guess you didn't catch what I meant by that. See, I tell you, and you don't believe me, but I've told you all before, I am a terrible teacher. I'd be the worst teacher. I'd be like insulting people left and right, and it'd be terrible. Terrible idea. Should never teach. I'm not. I am totally not. Takes me too many tries to tell people how to, like, to do things. Am not good. Stop listening to me. I don't, anyway, what tools exactly are at your disposal for, designing it? Or you're basically allowed to just design it whatever way you want, and whoever is putting the app together has to try to make what you have in the design. Like, you're not locked into, you're not locked into a certain sort of coding for the display, are you? I mean, technically you did outsource it. Alright, bye. Technically you did. But if you think about it, though, literally asking someone else who is a professional in the field for an idea, that is the basis of outsourcing. I know. I may not have made it, but the idea is to help you actually make it work and fix the design itself. That is technically still outsourcing. You consulted an outside source. That is still outsourcing. Also, yes, chat is cute. Usually. You outsource consultation from your parents. You don't even need Photoshop. GIMP is like a trimmed down version of it anyway. I mean, there are other free options for illustration though. Like you could use Krita. Medibong Paint is actually a decent one too. Like there are free options available for illustration. For like doing graphic design though, it's a little bit harder to find one that's as versatile. At least it's nothing like, I don't know, trying to do video editing in Windows Movie Maker. Ugh. I was thinking of getting Affinity, but the way it is, it's sort of like, well, I already use and pay for Photoshop. I mean, granted, I would be saving a lot more money if I swapped to Affinity and whatever, you know, like use like DaVinci Resolve to video edit and stuff. But as it stands, everything's gonna be separate from each other, you know, unless, I mean, like obviously the Affinity series will be able to interact with each other, but like for like video editing, even though I don't do it very often, I really don't like using other options out there because I learned how to do everything that I know how to do in Adobe. And I really, really don't like having to learn another software for video editing. And I hear like DaVinci Resolve is not exactly the friendliest in terms of learning curve, you know? I do have a key for like a full version of Vegas Pro from a couple years ago. So, I mean, I have that option. I just don't really want to use it because it's like, I'd have to relearn Vegas. Even though Vegas Pro is much more intuitive to use compared to Adobe. Like, once you learn how to do everything in Adobe, like going others, just in general, once you learn how to use one software, going to another one sucks. It just sucks. Like, I bought Clip Studio Paint when it was like on its like 50% sale, so it was super cheap. And as it stands, as an illustration software, it's really, really good. I just don't like it yet because there's so much I have to do to get it to where I need it to be. Like, Photoshop took forever to get it to where I needed it to be. But now that it's finally there, it's like, well, I don't really need to use anything else, you know? Don't know how I can import shapes. This is easy. import brushes, and then wherever you downloaded your files, like I have these brushes here from a pack that I bought. Colors. Whatever. That's it. You just gotta make sure you remember where you put the files. Fuck. I keep hating when I hit the P button. Takes away the preview and then I forget what I'm trying to fix. Now I feel too dumb to use Google. Right? What do you mean? There's no right or wrong way to use Google. You just put the question in the search and then you search. Well, no, that is right. Because shapes are stored in a DLL file. The thing is, you need to specify what you're looking for, because the shapes you're looking... The DLLs are these. At least I think so. I think that's what you found. The main thing is you need to figure out exactly what it is you want to do, because like certain things in Photoshop mean something else entirely, you know? You're not. Of course you're not dumb. Why would you say such a thing, SF? No, you are not dumb. Oh yeah, I didn't get to ask this yesterday, but how was everyone's Father's Day? Did you all get to see your dads? Say hi? Give him a card or take him out to dinner? You know? That kind of thing? You got nothing for him? Ugh. Freaking. The hell? Why are your holidays all different? God damn it. All you EU people. Where are my Americans at? I mean, to be fair, that's basically what happened, you know? At least as far as, like, relations between America and England. I said nothing of the sort about you guys going away. I just wanted to know where the American people are, so that way they can tell me how their Father's Day weekend went. Because apparently EU have different Father's Day, which I didn't know, okay? I thought at least that one, like, those days would be the same, like Father's Day and Mother's Day, but apparently not. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Really though, where are all the American people? It's almost 3 p.m. Have they all gone back to work? Is nobody home anymore? We have Labor Day. Labor Day is the first Monday of September. I don't know. Just do. I mean, we all have our different holidays. I mean, I grew up in Hawaii and we had like the randomest holidays compared to like the rest of the country. So the state operated organizations, they would have days like Kuhio Day off and King Kamehameha Day or Kamehameha Day, you know, like different specific holidays that are like, I'm used to there being days that don't get celebrated. We don't celebrate Columbus Day out in Hawaii. Columbus Day is like only a federal thing in the mainland. Really, I don't think. Like, what other random days? This is a thing I think did I mention it before? Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on a stream. Like, in Hawaii, we didn't give a shit about 4th of July. Yeah, we might have the day, like, workers might get the day off. But 4th of July is like, oh yeah, okay, that's a mainland holiday. People in Hawaii didn't give a shit about it. But yeah, I mean, at the very least, I would think things like Mother's Day and Father's Day. I thought that would be a thing that, you know, was sort of a little bit more international, but apparently it's not. There's another thing. Like, because we're out in Hawaii, we celebrate Children's Day. From, like, Japan, Korea, China, 5th of May. Which, surprisingly, is Cinco de Mayo over here. Which is a completely different holiday. Freaking holidays, I tell you. Everything's gotta be different. Ugh. What do they even call the sub-regions in, like, Germany or other countries? Because, like, for the US, it's obviously states. In Canada, they're provinces. 2019. I mean, that happens sometimes. There was legitimately a time though where I didn't know what year. Like back around 2000. 2008? 2009? See, I was so out of it. I can't even remember when it was that I had trouble remembering what year it was. Federal states. Oh yeah, basically the same states. Don't have Oktoberfest? What? Is it because of COVID? Oof. Unluckers, man. It's not like America's really very good at like educating their kids over here about foreign things. Education system here is questionable. This yellow green is actually bothering my eyes a little bit. Oh, okay, I'm not that dumb. Ooh. I think we need to have every student learn the Animaniac song that does the countries of the world. Honestly though, I don't know the song. I will admit to that I do not know that song entirely. I literally only know the first line. How it goes. It starts out with United States, right? So United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru. That's literally all I remember. What was it in junior high? We had to memorize all the countries that the USSR had divided into when the Soviet Union like completely dissolved or whatever it was. Let's see if I can still remember. So Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus, Moldova, Ukraine, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Russia. 12. I feel like I'm missing something. Brain. We even had to learn the capitals too. I don't remember any of that. I think, was it Estonia, Latvia, Kiev, Ukraine. Yeah, that's all I remember. I'm surprised I could even remember as many of the countries as I could. Like Cause I only memorized it in what, like sixth grade. It's a long time ago. $25 years ago. Oh, that was a long time ago. You know what's funny is like I was okay with I kind of liked geography because it was like about memorizing names, and memorizing names back when I was little was something I was really good at. Now I'm just trash. My memory is fucking terrible. It's like who actually remembers things anymore? Anyway, I miss the days when I could actually memorize things pretty easily when it came to like basic stuff, you know. Yep. All that talent, ability, whatever you want to call it, it gone. I am small, smooth brain now. Well, what? Dude, I'm pulling from memories that were like from junior high, okay? That was when my memorization was actually half decent. Now it's just a matter of my memory actually keeping up, which it barely can. Really? When you were typing that, you almost called me Mercy? Is that it? Or do you mean in-game when we were playing? Maybe! Oh my god, Dragonfly, what the frick? I can understand in-game. I can understand if we're playing the game in the heat of the moment, you say Mercy, you call the hero name. I can totally understand that. But we're chatting on my stream right now. You actually almost said Mercy? What? Okay, okay. That's fine. I kind of expect it sometimes now, like, if people call out my hero name instead of, like, me, and whatever, I don't care anymore. I still find it funny, though. One time I was playing with my friends and Lex accidentally called me Mercy when, like, we were talking about, like, comp, like, what to pick for supports. Yeah, I was, and I think she was on Zen, I was Mercy, so she was like, yeah, I'll just stick close to Mercy. I'm like, what? I mean, I wouldn't have cared, but she, like, immediately stopped herself and said, like, no, wait, Nancy. I mean Nancy. It's like... The fact of the matter is that she stopped herself to correct it means that she actually was thinking of my name and said Mercy instead. That's what I think is funny. The fact that that my name could get accidentally misplaced. Because if she just called it out as, like, Mercy, I wouldn't have really thought anything about it. But the fact that she corrected herself is what makes it funny. You know, people have called whoever is on Mercy Nancy before. It has happened. Like, Hawks called Lex Nancy once because she was on Mercy. People that I knew before from Raxcord, Dash, who is, like, one of my mods, he was on Mercy, and someone else, a mutual, like, acquaintance, called Dash Nancy, and Dash was like, what? And he meant, like, no, Mercy. I meant to say Mercy, but you called me Nancy. But yeah, I mean, people have actually called whoever's on Mercy Nancy when I'm not even there. I'm not even there, and they called whoever is on Mercy Nancy. Wait, what? You really did that? Let's go to my shame corner. It's fine. It's fine. I play so much Mercy, it happens. No, we're not speaking of SAO abridged. Stop. I forbid you from finishing that sentence. Yeah, stop trying, Dragonfly. Never gonna happen again. Not really, no. I'm a pretty terribly boring person. I think we've gone over this. Anyway, Sora. Have you been lurking? Is that why you haven't been talking? Okay. Ooh, waffles. What kind of waffles? I told you. Every smart device out there can't be wrong, you know. Legend of... Hey, what? I mean, I definitely have things that I like so much that I end up having to talk about it all the time. Like Overwatch was kind of still is like something that I always talk about whenever I'm like thinking of something funny or whatever, because I watch so many streams and like I'm trying to talk about it with my husband. He just stares at me like something's growing out of my head. Kind of hard not having somebody I can like I don't know. It just kind of sucks. I don't really have anybody that I can like, kind of talk about Overwatch things with all the time, because most of the people I know are getting tired of the game. And it's fair. I mean, I don't talk about it all the time, but like back when I was like super into Overwatch, still kind of into it, but just not as much as I was. Like I had no one to talk to. I can't talk to my husband about it. He doesn't freaking like Overwatch. He thinks it's boring. I didn't forget about Sora. I'm reading what she's saying. Like, generally, there isn't really much I can say in response. It's like, okay, it's a movie. The thing is though, like when I talking to so like Sora's so like, I know, but Sora's busy. I don't want to disrupt Sora while she's doing her homework and animation stuff. Animating takes a lot of time and attention. I'm considerate. Okay, I'll keep that in mind next time when I want to talk to someone about Overwatch nonsense. But still, it's like, regardless of that, I can't just go and friggin' bother whoever whenever I want, you know? It's just like, I want to be able to talk about shit with my husband without him looking at me like I have something growing out the side of my head, you know? There used to be a time where, like, we used to be able to talk about gaming stuff together all the time because we were playing the same games. And then when I finally completely quit WoW, it's like that's when like the rift started. I mean, that's just how things are, you know? I can't expect my husband and me to like always be able to play a video game together, you know? It's kind of like the sad thing is that's kind of like what made our relationship work, because we always had a game we were playing together for as long as it did, you know? And now it's just like whatever, we're just chilling next to each other. Why they gotta keep nerfing little Korean girl? Take personal offense to that, you know? It's like, geez, I just keep nerfing the only Korean character in the cast. Yeah, I know she's powerful. She's like really strong when you play her correctly. And she's not being focused by like a soft counter or hard counter. Mostly soft counter. She doesn't have like a direct hard counter. I just hate that like Brig is meta again. Ugh. Oh, what is it? Dragonfly! Read before you... Oh really? She's getting nerfed? What's the nerf? Cool down on what? Oh, so they're basically making her like she was in that single tank experimental shit. Because like, because she had her movement penalty reduced, and I think they did reduce her matrix cooldown. Yeah. She's just gonna be even stronger now. What? Like I wouldn't say that she would have been really good to play right now. She kind of can't create space because if there's a Brig, then she gets stunned and then loses mech, and then she's fucking running around as pilot diva. It's not good. So the fact that they're buffing her doesn't necessarily make her stronger versus Brig, though. If anything, it's the changes are moot versus Brig. What? They're removing her armor? But that's, well, then again, that's what made her really stupid strong, because like you could just armor pack pocket the hell out of dive DPS and they would never die, you know. The problem is that she could keep stacking it on top, you know? I think that's like the main thing. It's like she could stack all 3 charges on the same target. If they capped how, oh, it would be kind of hard. The math behind it would be a little bit annoying to do. And it would be super micromanagement on Brig's part to make sure she doesn't screw it up either, you know? I mean, pros will probably not have any issue, but like you put her in a casual's hands and Brig will be absolute garbo. Well, once again, Tracer's gonna be it's like Brig Tracer was just wrong. Don't try to become a Brig one trick. Gross. Why would you try to do something so horrible? I wonder how Violet's gonna take it. This nerf. Because she's been like climbing back up super. Well, I mean, she's always been really high ranked with her Brig, but I wonder how big a hit it's gonna be to Violet. So I think it's gonna end up moving from Brig to people playing more Zen, maybe? You think? Or Bat? Or Lucio, rather. Actually, no, they're gonna go back to playing a lot more Lucio. Is it the return of Zen Lucio dive? with Winston Diva, Genji, and something else. Bap Zen? Yeah. Bap Zen for sure if it's Winston Diva. Yeah. Yeah, if they go Winston Diva, Bap Zen, and Genji, I don't know who the sixth one's gonna be though. I mean, it really depends on what the tank line is gonna shift to. Like, if that Diva utility is enough to just skyrocket her back to ridiculously overpowered status like before, you know. And I think it probably will be, because that's a really huge cooldown reduction. Like, whoa. Because now Diva can freaking just Matrix everything and then stop, recharge for a couple seconds before, like, Adult goes out. And then she can Matrix that too. It's like, oh, look at that. Not gonna lie though. DM your dinner. Not gonna lie though. If Zen comes back and we're gonna see some Jonak and Alarm and Twilight. Was it Twilight? No, it was Violet. Violet or Violet. They both play Zen. And they both play Zen really well. So I just want to see more Zen, man. Pro Zen is so fun to watch. Crimzo, yes. Let's see more Zen on Crimzo on Zen. Yeah. Freaking Onigon and Crimzo could not carry Dallas hard enough, but they were doing so good. I feel so bad for Onigon because he was doing work on his debut game. Like, he was phenomenal, I think, for his debut. And this team, just dead weight. I'm so sad for Onigon. I'm just gonna say, like, the last game he played a lot of Zen, and his Zen was doing work. Like, he'd be getting at least 1 or 2 kills every team fight, like, or he'd be like the only one to get a kill in some team fights. And I just feel so bad because he's freaking carrying the team on his back, but the team too heavy. Team too heavy. And I feel bad. It's like, Paintbrush isn't a bad support. By no means is Paintbrush doing poorly, but Paintbrush plays to the level of his team. So, like, while Paintbrush is, like, doing his best to support, like, Crimzo, the DPS, and, like, the tanks, because he's main support. Like, he's doing everything he can, because he's, like, when he was on BAP, he was getting matrices pretty fast. But Gamsu and Note, they're just not there. And I feel terrible because, like, I believe Gamsu and Note have the potential to do great things, unlike what Dragonfly thinks. But they just played. They made so many unforced errors last time they played that I can't look at Dallas right now. I just can't look at them right now. I feel so sad. I mean, come on. Note only had one distinguished good play throughout that entire match. The thing is that Overwatch is in fact a team game, but they've been trying so hard to push the game back into classic mode where people could carry and make individual plays. But the thing is that what happens is that if you're on a team that has multiple people capable of doing that versus a team that only has maybe one or two, the team with multiple hero players is going to outright flatten the other team, because yeah, it's a team game. And back when was it Goats was actually extremely team oriented. If you had to play super synced in Goats so that as a team you roll over the other team. You didn't have to be the most astounding hero player, but if your team was clicking, you would win. Now that doesn't work anymore, and it doesn't matter if you know how to play with your team. You have to start like looking for opportunities. You have to start taking those risks that may not make sense in a team game to win now. And it goes against everything that most of the pros were picked up for originally. Granted, I'm sure like 80% of them are able to make the shift right back to being hero players. Like just straight out wanting to play their game. Get those plays of the game. Like Carpe was always like that. Now Carpe is just freaking dominating. So that's why, like, when it was like more team oriented based, Philly Fusion was actually kind of suffering. But since now we're going back to having to make hero plays more often, Philly Fusion has been doing a lot better. Like, they're at the top of the ranks now, right? So it hurts a lot of the people who came into the Overwatch League who were picked up for being steady team players. It's unfortunate though that these people who are phenomenal players in general. They're just not suited to the they're just not suited to the current meta. Like, they're not suited to I'm just repeating myself now, so I'm gonna stop. And I feel really bad for Note, because, like, I think as a player, as a person, he's a great guy. It's just... It's a mental thing, really. He doesn't quite have the solo play decision making. Like, it's something I also notice when watching, like, streams and stuff. Because Note is a good player. He can carry in ranked, but he carries a hell of a lot less than other high ranked players do. The thing though is that Gamsu is like sort of that guy who is kind of team leader. So like in more team oriented play, he can actually shine because he's able to organize his team to be able to sync up and do well. And that's why Boston Uprising did really well that one stage, because they finally started to click, and you know, things started to work. But now I don't know. I haven't really, like, I say all this now because I only remember like what it was like in Overwatch League before, you know. Now since I haven't been able to watch things very closely, I don't know their playstyles anymore. He's boomed Dragonfly. It is funny because, like, you kind of forget that these kids are still kids. Like, 99% of them are in their early 20s and lower. So it's like when you actually listen to comms check, it's like, oh yeah, they're kids still, and so they still say childish things. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that, okay? Honestly, though, I really wonder why they couldn't field both Decay and Oni God last time. Um, just why not, you know? Yeah, I know, you said that already. But even still, it's just... Ugh. Um... You're putting a little bit too much faith in the decision making of the team coaches, you know. There have been many a time in previous seasons or whatever, you know, where they're just not fielding the right people. I mean, Decay has a really solid Ash. I don't... Why not double hit scan? It's just... Why not? I mean, come on. I mean, you have to kind of think about it. Do you really want your team to be the first team to lose to Vancouver's new roster? Not to say that they weren't playing well. I'm glad. I'm glad that Vancouver's new roster finally got a win, because all those people on the new Vancouver roster, like, I like all of them. I want them to do well. I mean, like, Roof is like an old school name, and he finally made it on a team. I'm really super happy for him. So it's like... Like, Dallas? What? Are you okay? Anyway, let's stop talking about Overwatch League now. Should try to talk a little bit more about what I'm doing here or something. No. Okay, DJ Fluffkins. It's alright. You don't have to talk about Overwatch. I know I'm just ranting about stuff, so. Alright. Have a good meeting and enjoy your food. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. No, it's okay. You have a meeting to go to. Go take care of your stuff. I mean, you have to admit though, that poor man is so burnt out on the game. Could you imagine though, like, how it was for him for so long? People kept harassing him to play Genji on stream when he doesn't want to because he knows it's just nothing but a feed and he's going to probably lose every game if he played Genji because he's not meta and it's just bad, you know? Like, remember how he got when he was like getting into full-time streaming and how depressed sounding he got playing the game on stream day after day? Granted, now he's back to streaming, but he's doing his own thing now. It's not like he's trying to, it's not like he has to deal with like his chat being like, play Genji, play Genji, play Genji, play Genji. Season 1 DOS. I mean, I think he's finally settled into a good state with streaming now, and it's good for him, and he's able to play whatever the hell he wants, you know? So, good for Birdman, okay? Let Birdman do Birdman things. Honestly though, I was super hyped about Season 1 Dallas. Like, I wanted that team to go so far because it was like the old school names, you know? They're like bringing it back. But the thing is that their style of play just wasn't going to work because there's all these young kids who've been playing the new and current meta. You're gonna poop all over like teams that are just trying to do their own thing, and it's unfortunate, you know. I really wanted Season 1 Dallas team to go so far. I was so sad how it turned out for them. upsetting thing though about that whole thing with season 1000, like, people were expecting a certain level from them already, and they were like, it was a proof. It was basically how it felt like it had to be a proof of who would actually dominate in the, you know, the seasoned veterans or the fresh new blood, and it put like a weird mentality on people with what happened. Like, oh yeah, all these new young kids are really dominating, and they're like doing so much better than people who are who are in their mid-20s and older. So that means we have to get all young kids. And it's really not true. How it turned out. The hilarious thing is that the organization as a whole hasn't like made it easy for new people to come up through the Path to Pro system. So it's sort of like okay, so how do you plan on fielding fresh new people if they can't get into OWL through contenders? Talking too much about Overwatch. Someone help me change the topic. Dora, are you working on any new animations? Help! I want to stop talking about Overwatch League. How can you deny your love? What? What do you mean? It's not the game, it's OWL I want to stop talking about. Give me something different to talk about. I spelled thump wrong. It's okay, we all make typos. No. I told you, Dragonfly. Stop trying to do that. It's not gonna work. Me thinking about mixing my emotes with both Muffin and Nancy art. Aww. But Muffins is better. Go to Muffins. The art process here on Dragon Mercy Armor. Well, I drew a sketch. I laid down some flat color. Now I'm rendering it. The rendering part always takes a long time though. Because you can just keep going back over and over and over. The same area. Non-stop. Hey, Noir. Gucci render. Story about what? You can't just ask for a story and then just leave me hanging, you know? Like, unless I already have something to offer and I got nothing. It's like, it's gotta be a source of mental preparation, you know? It's like, yeah, okay, I got something, but right now I got nothing. A story about rocks. I could tell you about a story where when I was like little, I forget what grade my sister and I were in, but we were at the beach. It was kind of a rough day in terms of waves, and the tide was on the higher side. So, we were like just hanging out on the pier. My sister was just straight up lying flat out on the pier like starfish. And I was just sort of like kind of wandering around, whatever. Playing with like a tiny tide pool that was on the pier. Like there's like a little spot where the moss grows a little thicker, so like playing with wet moss. Like back when we were little, we didn't know what like exactly what it was, but it's like what? Seawater grass. So it's like it's soft. It feels like soft fur. Soft wet fur. And so we're just chilling on the pier, and all of a sudden this freaking huge wave. It's like we didn't see the wave, but the crash was super loud, so we knew it was like at least a sizable wave with a lot of force. So I was like toward the edge of the pier, so I braced myself on the edge of the pier, like hopefully make sure that I didn't like fall. And then my sister she had nothing to grab onto, so she was doomed from the beginning. The wave was so strong that it pushed both me and my sister off the pier and into the rocks behind it. So yeah, we kind of got beat up pretty bad. And this is lava rock, mind you, you know? Lava rock's not smooth. It's porous and sharp, and yeah, kind of sucked. like, I got scratched up a little. My sister's foot fell in a hole and got, like, cut up. So, like, her whole, like, the lower part of one of her legs was, like, all beat up. Like, we didn't get too badly injured, but she had some pretty nasty cuts, so. Hey, you wanted a story about rocks, okay? I'm trying my best to deliver. Don't be nitpicking about the delivery. It's okay. Just like my dad just sort of like it felt bad for us because now like the two of us are moping in the beach chairs like near the car because we can't go back in the water because we're all like we weren't, it wasn't like a lot, it's not like we were in a lot of pain, but it stings, right? You can't go in the water when you've got like fresh cuts and stuff because it hurts. So we're just moping in our beach chairs, just sitting there, like we couldn't even like properly like get our cuts bandaged or anything, you know? It's like we're just two kids. We want to like run around and play, but we can't. It sucked. Oh, sorry, you know, I was really tempted to like turn her colors more aqua instead of straight green. But you know, I think I'll lay off the always trying to sneak the healing arrow stuff into all of my mercy art, you know? Doom girl? What? Do you mean con maker? Depends on what you mean, because Doom is like high-tech armor and shit. Oh, I don't know. Maybe? I really don't know. I don't know about the Doom aesthetics and other than like big Doom guy. The fact that I put Doom guy in the Doomicorn skin, you know. Going through the cutscenes with the Doomicorn skin is freaking hilarious. Like the part where you fight the Marauder for the first time. Yeah, the all you see in one shot is his freaking hot pink wings. Wow. Well, I mean, you gotta admit, he is kind of angry because he's always gotta like rip and tear, you know? So he's letting out that sexual frustration. Or he could just be Ace and he just wants to kill all demons and stuff, you know? So there's that. Well, you can blame Inuar for bringing out the fact. So you mean like Goblin Slayer? How Goblin Slayer is totally not interested in that, but all he wants to do is kill goblins. No, I'm not, because I don't really go out of my way to watch that shit. He's so beautifully oblivious. Yeah, he is pretty damn oblivious. But when it comes down to it, literally every like male protagonist in anime is oblivious. No. Alright, later, Sora. I'm sad that I have to be left alone with these guys in chat. Ah, shit. Okay, fine. We won't speak of Shinji. Hey, I don't get to talk to Sora that often, Dragonfly. I talk to you like every day. I mean, yeah, that's probably true as well. I mean, come on, you have to think about it. Like, how many people out there do we know for a fact are ace? You know? There's a lot more people out there that are ace than you think. Where is the inclusion of the fact of acknowledging that there are some people who just don't want Nookie? Alright, later, Sora. But yeah, you know, like, I'm not really sure. I'm like somewhere in between Demi and Ace. Probably more Ace. Because, you know, care for it. Honestly, I feel like whenever I write a main character, whenever I make a main character, they're a combination of smart and stupid. Because, like, to be honest, it's completely possible for people to be smart and stupid at the same time. Like, I was a studious kid. I did really well in school, but holy fuck, did I have no common sense whatsoever. I still don't have common sense. So it's a thing that I relate to very, very personally. Like, I know that there are some things I'm immensely stupid at. And there are other things that are just like I'm really smart at. Maybe not so much anymore because I haven't exactly been like doing keep brushing up my math and sciences, you know? Like that was like what I was like the shit at before. My maths and sciences. But now I'm just kinda like all I know how to do now is draw pictures, and even then they're not up to what I want them to be. So, you know. Aces, 10, and Demis, and yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's very true. But, like, I don't think... Like, it's extremely hard to really explain where I'm at and keeping, like... keeping it clean, you know? Because I just never really have that desire at all. Like, I literally have intimacies with my husband because he wants it, you know? And because I love him, like, I'll do it because I want him to have like nice feelings too, you know? It's like, it's not just about me. The fact that And just because somebody's ace doesn't mean that they don't experience pleasure during the act. They just have no desire to initiate it, like, ever. I mean, at least in my case, I really don't care for it at all. I'm just kind of like, I would love to be cuddly and huggy with my husband. But the thing is that when we get cuddly, yeah, you know, because he's got a normal libido and I don't really have one. It's hard, but like, it's my sacrifice. It's not really a sacrifice because like, I do love him. I want to be, and if that's what I need to do to express it, if that's what I need to do to express it, then yeah, that's what I'll do. I don't even like flying solo. I've never actually flown solo. Not once. Really don't care for any of it. I mean, so I really don't know where I stand. Cause it's like, I know my body still reacts when, like, if ever you observe as a coping mechanism, and I can understand that for sure. Like, whenever I observe, like, say, like, in a movie, there's a love scene. I will feel my body react to the fact that there is stuff happening. But me personally wanting to engage, and not only that, it's exhausting. This shit is physically so exhausting. Like, why would you want to keep doing that if you are constantly getting worn out whenever you do it? It's just like, no. Hell to the fuck no. But yeah, I mean, I guess I am basically ace. But the thing is that, like, when I'm like romantically attracted to people, it's pretty much just men. Although, like, there's obviously going to be the occasional female or whatever, you know. So I think I'm a predominantly heterosexual in the sense of like romantic. Even though I think I could probably still be like bi-romantic and ace. So it's like, romantic would be just the feeling of romantic is just the feeling of wanting to be able to be with someone. For you'll know like when you feel that you are in love with someone, like that's a romantic feeling there, you know. I don't really know how you call it though, because I have a friend who's anhedonic and she's married. So that's where I get confused a little bit. Are there any friends that you want to just like hug and kiss? Because, like, you can still very much want to hug and kiss someone without going and having some sexy time, you know? And are they specifically, are they of, like, any particular gender? Like, does it tend to be anyone? Like, male, female, non-binary? You're probably lean more to, like, a lesbian romantic ace. Demi. Whatever it was that... You said demi, so... Or it could be... Oh, no, it could be lesbian romantic. For both, like, you can be lesbian for both romantic and sexual. I'm sorry. I actually, I never asked her gender. What do you identify as? I was taking it from my perspective. I'm so sorry, you know. Hey, Silent. I'm sorry. You, Okay, so... You predominantly wanted to be romantic with girls, so you're hetero-romantic. Sorry, I was literally taking it from my perspective. I totally forgot to ask your gender, okay? Chill. No, I mean, I just prefer to make sure that I've gotten your identity right based on your preferences, because I honestly don't care. Oh, that's perfectly normal. Generally hetero. Hetero everything, but then, like, not so into the... the extra stuff. Because all I have to say is the extra stuff is exhausting. Like... and my husband says so too, but he still wants to do it. Well, there's exceptions to the rules, you know. Or you could be a combination of bi, pan, whatever. Just in my opinion, just let everyone do their thing, okay? And no, you don't have to, like, force a certain way of thinking on any of them, you know? Because in the end, it's only gonna hurt people if you force things on them that they're not into, or try to force people to do things that they don't want to do. Yeah, of course. I mean, like, if... the way I say it, if they need to feel like, if they feel like they need such a thing to, like, give themselves confidence in the fact that they are who they are, then that's fine. If they need to be able to tell the world they are, I don't know, a specific orientation or gender, then that's cool. I just wish there was, like, on the opposite side of things, I just wish people would just stop saying, like, no, you have to do this or that, or like, no, that's weird, that's not normal. Like, anyway. Normative, yeah, you know, right? Normal is overrated. Everybody's weird. Let's all be weird together. By the way, hi, Silent. Hey, Suki. Oh my god, they still haven't given you the email? I don't understand. I really don't understand why they haven't given you the email yet. Every day, I cry with you, Suki. Every day. It's just, it's stupid because it makes me look like I don't want to see somebody who's given me money not get what they paid for, essentially, you know? Hey there, Pepe Louise? I don't know how you want that pronounced. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's just not right that that Twitch isn't doing its job to make sure that everyone gets the freaking rewards that they should be getting. It just makes me upset. You know, I feel like, because it makes me feel like I've stolen something. It's like, ugh. Virus, stop showing off. Don't make Suki feel worse. I don't understand because you got yours right away, right? Well, relatively right away. Took a couple days, but still, like, you got it within a, quote, reasonable amount of time. Unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Come on, Twitch, take responsibility! Alright, chat, everyone hydrate! Oh no, 10 steps. Too far. Much too far. Seriously, who has the energy to take 2 steps? Have I scared Simon away with my strange talk of sexual orientation? I haven't actually read any manga lately. Because like you never actually know which which animes like actually follow the manga or make up their own shit, you know? Because there was for like FMA, I watched the anime, read the manga, watched Brotherhood, did everything for that one. Definitely one of my favorite anime. My husband and I like tried to watch the live action movie because like it's literally just a live action adaptation of the entire story from, was it Brotherhood? I don't know. And like with the dubbing, we were just like, nope. we couldn't even try to get through that one. We just gave up instantly. Well, the thing is that not all manga, at least whatever ones that I've been interested in like checking out, not all of them are translated. And sometimes it's like, at least in some cases, it's not even the fact that the anime is made from manga. Some anime are made from light novels. And all they have to go on are some illustrations and the author's writing, you know? Because at least for Sword Art Online, it was a light novel first. Then they made the anime. Then they made the manga. Here's the one thing though, because I read the Sword Art light novel up until like basically where the anime has ended so far. Actually no, up until the part where end of first half of season 3. I read the light novel up to that, and so like watching the anime through from season 2, because I watched season 1, read the light novel, then watched season 2, and then when it got to season 3, the problem with SAO season 3 is that they left too much of the content in, because there was so much talking and explaining in the light novel for setting up everything that in season 3 all they did was talk. So much talking. Exactly. So like they didn't translate the light novel into the anime correctly at all, and I was so upset. I was so upset about how that turned out. And my husband is just like, I think I aged like 20 years just watching that one episode. But it got to the point, like, if we were trying to get through it, watching Toonami so we could get to like other anime playing after SAO, like it got to the point where we'd be falling asleep during SAO. Yeah, I mean that's true, but you at the very least though, in terms of manga, you have all the art from the manga, and no doubt that the mangaka is making like art books and stuff. Like, and at least depending on the artist style, I would prefer that over like anime, like just sort of saturating your content, you know. That way that way when you actually look for the stuff, the art for that manga, you find the manga art, and usually when it's from the original manga, it just looks so much better. That's true. I will give you that 100%. Fight scenes are definitely one of the things that you miss out on in a webcomic, a comic format. Comic. Or you could just hope that like the manga kind of draws out the fight scenes like they do in One Punch Man, because holy crap. The manga for One Punch Man is ridiculously detailed in all of the fight scene drawing. I'm just like, how do you do this? I mean, I just wish I was that amazing at background action sequence drawing, because it just looks so freaking cool. Well, I mean, that's just the problem. The thing is that it costs a lot of money to turn anything into an animation, you know? So they have to know that the investment is worth it. And if they don't get the. If they don't already have a basis to go on, they won't do. Oh, for anyone who's watched that time I got reincarnated as a slime, remember the lizard man prince? I forgot his name. Anyone? Like that guy. Are you legitimately saying heck that guy, or do you mean like you don't know heck that guy? Oh. Yeah, but I did like the fact that they made him do the praise the sun stance. But yeah, I completely agree with you. He was dumb. He was incredibly dumb. Not gonna lie though, it is a little surreal, like actually having to wait on seasons to be released, you know? Because back when I started to pick up on anime, the freaking anime is like done by the time we even start to see any dubbed episodes, you know? So it's like, to me, it's surreal that we're at a point where the dub is coming out not that far long after like the original already broadcasting in Japan, you know. This is like what? Sailor Moon, Card Captor Sakura, Dragon Ball, like all that stuff. That stuff was like long since finished, or at least like a few seasons ahead before we even saw the first dubbed episodes in like America, you know? And it was like such a niche crowd that it kind of felt like, is this really? It kind of felt like they weren't really sure if it was a good idea to even dub them and then have them broadcast in America, but like after the, like those few like finally pretty great, that anime is freaking crazy. Freaking characters in that anime are so random. Like, what is even going on? But yeah, like back with like the see, I wouldn't have known that. I haven't watched enough of the episodes to even understand that, but yeah, like it and mine too, Sailor Moon. Yeah, like back then it was just stuff took forever to come out because like they weren't dubbing things like on the fly like they were now, like they are now, you know, because dubs are usually only a few weeks behind now, at least for the popular anime. I don't know, maybe it's further behind, but even still, like they dub stuff so much faster that you're not that far behind Japan when you're watching the dubbed episodes here. Trying to keep up with Dragon Ball Z was the absolute worst because there were so many episodes of just screaming in power-ups and just like, yeah, it was that was back when I was told like fan subs was just so much better because you get the episodes early, and usually it's not like you have to wait for a station to broadcast them. You have to go online, download them, just like that kind of stuff, you know. And normally like the translations were more in line with what was actually being said as opposed to some dubbing being like completely wrong. Oh my god, that was like one of the things that like bothered me a lot early on. Anime in general. So much changing meanings. It was Sailor Moon had a ton of it because they're trying to normalize it to America as opposed to whatever the hell. Also, what I never understood was, okay, they made it seem like the age gap between Usagi and Mamoru was bigger. She was a freshman in high school, and he was a freshman in college. 4 years, like that. Although it's 3 years in the manga, but oh, and this was a thing that was specifically translating the manga into the anime. They made it so in the anime, Usagi and Mamoru only got together because fate put them together. Like, in the manga, they actually naturally got together. I mean, granted, not completely naturally because... Hey, Simon, thank you so much for the raid. Because it's like, they got together because he was obviously Tuxedo Kama and she was obviously Sailor Moon. But, like, they came together because they liked each other. Not because they were together in a previous life. How was your stream? Did it go well? That's good to hear. I'm glad. I'll try. It's been great so far, and even better now that you that your friend's over to me to watch me draw. I mean, I'm not saying that the changes were completely bad. It just kind of grated on me the wrong way. How they were trying so hard to make anime kid friendly when anime is geared more toward older people. And not necessarily a kid thing, because kid anime is, whew, it's just like kid cartoons here. Like, I tried watching Crayon Shinchan. I couldn't. And even then it was like, how is that even not, it's not even a kid anime. It's like a perverted version of Dennis the Menace, Was it more of like an adult anime? I don't even know. All I remember is Crayon Shinchan was weird. And he showed his butt a lot. Doesn't make any sense though, because like newspaper cartoons, so many of them are based on adult topics. Like, so why on earth where when cartoons are made is like, oh, cartoons are for children, when most comics, at least in the mainstream, are adults like themed, Oh. Alright, sorry, I'm back. Alright, later, Simon. Take care. Yeah, you're not gonna really be able to get clear those topics very well with the youngins. That's a struggle there. Yeah, there's just a tiny little curl that is actually animated. There's no little puppy in there, no. I just made it so like the curl would like move only for one frame throughout the loop. So it doesn't always, so it's not obvious. You have to be looking at it time when it to see it. Another day to get through. Kind of hoping to use tomorrow to work on putting my time lapse video there. The cute little puppet. If you want to, sure. Hey, Simon. Eggs boiled in tea water. No. I don't believe I have. But, soft-boiled eggs are good if you can make them. If not, then, I mean, alright. If we're talking about dinner, there's a way that Asians prepare eggs. Basically, you crack the eggs, put it into a bowl. You add salt. You add about the same amount of water as there is protein, like volume-wise, and then you scramble them. You can add like scallions as well, like chopped scallions, and yeah, did I say salted? Or whatever. So, and then you whip that up. Then you put it into the microwave for 2 minutes. At least until it's completely cooked all the way through. You can tell by the fact that the top will bubble up a little bit. I mean, the correct way requires a stone pot, so that's why since we don't have that luxury, we microwave it. But that's how I would make eggs. I think you can probably look it up on YouTube. Like, that's like the traditional way to do it in a steamed in a stone pot. But like, that is what I'm talking about. But you can achieve the same results in a microwave, so granted you won't get like as clean a fluffiness out of the eggs, but you know, it'll be good. You're welcome. But yeah, like tea boiled egg is definitely not something I've consciously tried before. I am using Cintiq exclamation point drawing tools. You can add bacon. Don't add sweet things, like fruits or anything. But you can add bacon, you can add regular onions, you can add like anything that is more savory. So you can add little things that are savory to the eggs to change up the flavor. Actually, bacon in that sounds pretty damn good. You can even add like peppers in it too. Spicy or whatever, mild or welcome back, Ryan. I mean, like, you don't really have to add spicy stuff, but like you can totally. I'll have green. You might want to be careful about those. Yeah, like you can literally add anything that is savory palette into the steam scrambled eggs, and it should work totally fine. Like it should be delicious. Like I'm still thinking about that bacon, by the way. Bacon in that? Oh. Good. But yeah, you can literally get away with just the scallions, but if they're not good, I would probably not add them. Because you can just have the egg and whatever, but Korean eggs to midnights. Yeah, like egg with soy sauce, rice, granted, I was never one to be big on soy sauce, to be perfectly honest. Like, I definitely needed to have it in certain foods for the right flavor, but I wasn't the type to add more soy sauce. It's just too salty. You have drunk soy. Oh my god. That actually sounds pretty damn good. Not gonna lie, Nora, that actually sounds quite appetizing. Because apparently the right amount of salt is all. You know what's sort of funny? Like, my favorite dish is called meatjan or gogijan. It's not a traditional Korean dish. It's something that kind of got developed in Hawaii / California or whatever. Like, not even that common in California. It's mostly Hawaii. It's basically like, hey Tommy, it's basically like if you're familiar with bulgogi, it's basically bulgogi fried in egg batter. And it's always served with stylized kanjang, which is soy sauce, and they add, like, sometimes they add a little bit of spice, not really, very little, and then they'll add like sesame oil, sesame seed, some scallions or whatever. And I would actually never dip the michun into it ever. I just never did it. Pretty good. Chilling. Trying to get this done, you know, the usual. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a fan of mushroom, and yeah, it's always made certain things a struggle when it comes to talking, like trying to get my parents to not force me to eat certain things when I was growing up. And what's worse is that my mom had a freaking phenomenal japchae, the stir fried glass noodles, and they always put, because japchae has actually mushrooms specifically made just for japchae, like they specifically prepared just for that. They dry it out, they put it in a bag, and then you can just toss that in your japchae whenever you're making it. And I just really didn't like the mushrooms, and I'd always like I loved the flavor. So I would be eating I'd eat all the rest of the japchae, veggies, meat, noodles, the occasional fish cake, although I'm not a fan of fish cake either. And I would always try to avoid eating the mushrooms. Hello there, little Cthulhu gamer. Thank you so much for the follow. Instant tomato. I eventually got over to like not liking like it. I like them alright enough now. Fish cake. I really... Okay. The pink and white fish cake I was okay with. The ones that look like meatballs? Bleh. Absolutely hate those. They're so not good. I hate them so much. I was kind of like that before, but now I wouldn't go out of my way to eat tomatoes, but I mean, I don't mind them at all. They're like a non-issue for me, really. Phone, trying to turn it off, but I can't because not. I mean, it's fair. It's like, my husband's sort of the same way. He'll eat tomato if it's in something, but he won't go out of his way to eat it. Bruschetta? I like bruschetta. And my husband actually likes bruschetta too. It's kind of weird. Okay, just a minute. Alright, so that's the dinner bell. Oh no. No. I was about to freak out so hard there. Oh. Program error? No, please? Anyway. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for the follows and raids, posts. I really appreciate everyone hanging out with me, you know, while I do the thing. Thank you. I appreciate it. I stopped. Probably could have left it. See if I can find someone to raid. Friends to raid. Let's raid Goofy because she's actually on and drawing today. It's she's doing 1 tablespoon. Yeah. Okay. Take care. Have fun watching Moofy draw emotes. And I will see you on Thursday. No stream tomorrow. Remember, no stream tomorrow on Wednesday. Okay? Take care, everyone. See you next stream. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Hey, Cry, thank you for the raid. Thank you, thank you. Hope you had a wonderful stream. Hi, Cod. Whose emotes? These are for a streamer named Raku. Bunch of cute cat girl emotes. You can never do emotes laid out like this? I didn't used to. When I first started doing emotes, I just did them on like just a straight up like 500 pixel canvas, but bro, it's so nice to do them like this, especially when you're working on multiple commissions of the same character. It helps to keep everything similar. One sec, I'll be right back.